Hey there, it's Crafty Jennabug. This is part 4 of working in my May junk journal. I'm still so excited to be working in this, so let's get to it. I have an idea for this little guy. I think I'm going to make it a pocket this way. I know that has some really pretty paper on the back, but I really like these butterflies. I'm going to do a pocket this way, but I want to put something up above it. Or I want to line the pocket with something. But before I do any of that, I got to figure out some sort of background because this white just isn't working for me. It is the back of this. And so there is a little bit of, I don't want to say bleed through, but image transfer through the paper. And yeah, definitely want to do something around it. But what? I don't mind the white. I do just want to break it up a bit. Maybe with some stenciling. Alright, I found a stencil I'm going to use to decorate the background. And I'm not going to worry about the center part, but I will carry some of it into the, so you can, what you can see of the pocket. Oh yeah, I like that a lot. And then I'm going to take some of this green fabric and take strips to stick behind here and line it. Over here, I've got a free printable I can link, I believe. If I can find it, I'll link it. I found this little card. It was part of some scrapbook paper, and I think it will look super cute just peeking out of there. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I gotta let this dry before I do anything else. I made this up. I took a poem, May and the Poets by Leigh Hunt, and I backed it with a couple of pieces of scrapbook paper, give it like a little frame, and I want to stick it here. But before I do that, I want to do something about this white paper, which I have decided will be Distress Oxide inks. Now the stuff around it is kind of gray, green, and yellow. So that's what we'll do. Maybe a little peeled paint, mustard seed, twisted citron. I'll grab the mowed lawn as well. And, oh, I have walnut stain. Ugh, cat's in my seat, so I'm trying not to sit on her. Crazy girl decided she wanted to try to sit in my lap while I was working. Okay, so I'm going to focus my attention mostly around the edges because I'm going to have this part covered, and I also don't want this to be impacted, so I'm going to stick around the edges. It might bleed through. We'll find out. So let's start with Twisted Citron. It's gonna alter the back, but I'm gonna have to be okay with it. Alright. It's just gonna have to be what it is. I gotta let that dry before I can glue this down. Ooh, it kind of affected the front more than I wanted it to. Oh well. Here is what this looks like, and then I punched out, I used a die cut machine to make these different pieces of flowers that I now want to glue together along with this leaf. I also cut out from a die cut, and these were scrapbook paper. This was a piece of packing paper that I had painted on and stamped on. Now I have this brad I want to put in the middle, so I'm going to use glue stick. And then I'm going to punch a hole. Oh my goodness, how cute is that? Alright, and this will get glued down here like that. I love it so much. I thought about doing a regular gold brad there, but it didn't work for me. So now, let's see, do I have a sentiment? Do bloom where you're planted. I like that. Maybe I'll back it on this brown. And there we have it. 2 more pages. So exciting. I have this piece of scrapbook paper, and I really like the idea of this butterfly being a tuck spot. So I think, do I want to cut around it or rip around it? I can always cut and then rip. Actually, I might shift it a little and put something here. So that butterfly is in place, and I have this little tag that I cut out of a piece of scrapbook paper. It says grow your garden. I'm going to leave it plain on the back, and I think it looks so cute in there with all the gold from the background. And then this page, okay, so when I was playing with the die cut machine, I have this, and I thought it would either make a really cool background. You know what, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm sitting here just thinking about it. I'll just use the Liquitex matte gel. I do get the I do want to cover this and this, but I have to figure out with what. This is what I came up with for this page. I ended up taking some dark brown scrapbook paper and making borders for the top and the bottom. I didn't think that through initially, but I think I like it more this way than if I had left it the way it was. And then I added the quote, "In the spring at the end of the day, you should smell like dirt." And that's quoted to Margaret Atwood. Now, I think it really works for this page. I had a lot of flower themed quotes, and none of them worked here for me because there's no flowers on the page, and I wanted to leave it with leaves. So yeah, I think this works. I gotta wait for this page to dry before I can do anything else, and we'll be moving right along. All right, so for this pocket, I decided to use one of those tissue pieces, back it on this cardstock, put a frame and a butterfly die cut on it to make a tag for that pocket. I'll spare you the gluing. I might distress some of the edges with some vintage photo first. And what about the back? Yeah, I want to do something to the back. I think I'll just use some vintage photo or frayed burlap on the back. All right, here we are. I've glued everything down. I inked things up. I used vintage photo distress oxide ink to distress the edges here and here. I used tacky glue to glue everything down because it has a better grip than the PVA glue I typically use. And then on the back, before I glued anything down, I used a mixture of vintage photo and frayed burlap distress oxide inks and blending brushes to color the back. And then I just took my little water bottle and I pulled it out and splattered water with just the little straw. And I really like the way that came out. It needs to dry now before it goes into the pocket. Sweet. For this page, I really want to cover these up, I think. Some sort of collage, maybe? I mean, I got some collage over here. So maybe some more collaging would be good. Maybe some script stamping, because I've got the script over here. Maybe a little bit down here. So that is what I did to this page. I've got two little pieces that were cut out of a scrapbook kit, some packing paper with a little bit of green paint on it, and a little bit of dyed fabric, which actually might need to be glued down a little better than it is. There we go, I had a little more glue. This came from a free printable from the artscavenger.com. And I gotta let some stuff dry before I move on to anything else. Alright, this is dry. I really love it. It's super cute. And then it will live right in here. Don't tell me I cut it too tall. Okay. Well, I do have... Will this fit in here? This is sheet music I printed out on some dyed paper. It looks like it was dyed with a bunch of Distress Oxide sprays. And it says Song from a Secret Garden. I just folded it up. Will it fit? Ooh, just barely. I think that should go in there. Maybe I should put it this way. There we go. At least that way it won't get bent at the edges like it was. I like it because it plays off the color on this page, but I want to do something here. I really like that. I think I will glue it down just like that. Very cute. All right. I have a plan for this page. I've got this little bit of coffee dyed paper. I'm going to distress it using Vintage Photo. I distressed it using Vintage Photo. And then I have this doily I dyed. And I want to use some of it to decorate this. Like that. So I'm going to need to trim. Then I gotta figure out how to decorate it. I have this butterfly. Ooh, it's very blue though. What about this orange one? Let me cut these out and see how I feel. There's also this little blue guy. Maybe it would work along with something else. Let me cut out a few of these butterflies and play around with some flower stickers maybe and see where I get. Alright, after some deliberation, I have decided to go with a die cut branch and this blue butterfly from that sheet I showed you. And going into this pocket, I have this little image of a baby fairy and a flower. And this came from a artscavenger.com printable. And they look really cute in there. Alright, I think that's where I'm going to end this video. And we'll have one more part of decorating and then the final flip through. So thanks so much for watching. I hope you're enjoying this. And we'll see you in the next video. Have a great day. Bye.